Finally, the third problem. We've gone over the biggest problem for game masters, the biggest problem for players. The last problem that I discovered from asking people and working with people in 5e is a problem faced by publishers. And this is a change in waters, a change in direction that our systems of publication for a long time aren't quite what we need in this new age. What I'm referring to is that it used to be we could have one version we set up in PDF and then we send off for printing. And we may bind in 2 or 3 fashions, but essentially it's just one layout that worked in all of the fashions that we publish. Unfortunately nowadays, physical sales are going down and digital sales are going up. In fact, if we look at the statistics put out by Roll20 and Smiteworks for Roll20 and Fantasy Grounds usage statistics, we find that they're doubling every 2 to 3 years in online networks. That is super amazing and exciting. But the online networks are in different formats. There are at least 4 virtual tabletops, depending on whether or not you 5 if you count DnDbeyond. And there's probably some other minor ones I don't know about. And then you have Kindle and you have Nook, both of which uses relatively similar to each other, ebook standard. And then you have the publication itself. So you end up with 8 different formats you need. You write in one format, and then you need 8 more, so you have to spend 100 to 400 hours per formatting per book before you release. Now, some of them are relatively close cousins to each other. You might be able to get it down to 50. When I was talking with the guys that are writing for Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf is one of the makers of an entire suite of virtual tabletop-like accessories. Anyways, when I was talking to them, they were talking about how it's 400 hours per book of conversion data. And this is done by experts that have been trained to do it. Not untrained help. Experts. 400 hours of an expert's time is expensive. Very, very, very expensive. Okay. So, 400 hours, worst case scenario, 100 hours, best case scenario, times 7, that's 700 hours per book. And this is the biggest issue facing current publishers. Well, what I propose is UGF, or Universal Gaming Format. It's a single middle ground formatting system written in XML, but I've specifically written a version of XML that's outlined like a book could be printed, with a different hierarchical structure. I've moved some things around, and I think it's going to work. I'm creating mappings from that. I'm using the Altova suite, and to give you an idea, Altova is the best software out for this, but it's really expensive. It costs $1,000. The good news is that the publishers won't need to buy that unless they want a different outlay than the defaults I'm setting up. And the defaults should be able to handle a lot of situations. It would be the biggest publishers that want to have a unique branding that beyond just sticking logo here and color scheme there, those are the publishers that are going to have to buy the software suite. Quite frankly, publishers that big, $1,000 isn't much for. Anyway, so I'm building on top of their software. I'm using C++ and a bunch of other things to bring this together. I'm attempting to do what a lot of the publishers have told me is impossible, which is automate and export to all 8 of them from this middle ground language. Which means that we won't have to change any of the source code and any of the final results, because good luck telling Amazon that they need to change how their Kindles read data. I'd like to be there to listen to the conversation, and I don't think it'd go in our favor. So, the final publishers that it's going to end up with would be in the same format. We no longer have to spend the 100 to 400 hours per book, per conversion. It'll all be automated with the computer. It's going to save so many hours. It should be a tremendously significant thing for publishers. That being said, I think there's another thing that publishers are very much aware of this. And it would fix some other minor things. Because it's the formatting at the end, that means that if you need to add an extra couple of sentences to paragraph because the playtesting showed that there's a loophole here, and you need to close that loophole so that it's not going to be exploited. You can feel free to add those extra sentences. It's going to bump everything on down, stretch the text a little, and you're good to go. Maybe it extends your book by 1 page or something like that. But because all of your formatting moves, all of your images move, all of that typesetting is done at the end, and you just do a quick once over to tweak a few things, but it's essentially ready to go in each of those formats. And that is the goal. Now, those are like, from Lone Wolf, like, but we do rewriting for each time something would change as you level up. Classic example, Rogue Sneak Attack. Every 2 levels it changes. They have a way of handling that and automating that in theirs, so that when you're doing a level 6, it'll say one thing, when you're doing level 10, it'll say another. Well, the bad news is it won't go quite that far. It's not going to be that intelligent. But by bringing all the data that is the standard between all sources, hopefully that'll cut, like I said earlier, Lone Wolf estimates 400 hours per book. Hopefully we can cut that down to 200 or maybe 100 or maybe 50. That would be amazing. I don't know exactly how efficient it's going to be. And unlike the other ones where I'm showing you as it's working, this one isn't quite all the way operational. Although you can see on the website that I'm starting to put up PDFs and docx's. Why? Because we're getting close. I'm starting to get results coming out. I still have some funky things in certain areas and certain sections that aren't parsing correctly, and it's not moving at all correctly. I'm still at least a month away, and in all realism, to be able to do all 8 sources, it's probably going to be 2 or 3 years. And I'm going to prioritize that based on what I feel like doing, and also based on if one of the publishers is like, wow, we really want you to come over here and make it so our system works with this now. And if one of the big publishers is like, wow, that's going to save us a lot of time. You already have it stalled, we don't want to reinvent the wheel. Let's hire you to get this done, and let's put a team under you, because the team's going to be able to accomplish it a lot faster. So it could happen faster, but by myself, it's going to be a project that takes years. But it's going to be a project that does what several of the publishers have told me is impossible. That's not going to be easy for the publishers to adopt. They're used to doing things in a certain way, in a certain process. And it's going to upset the flow of balance. It's going to be difficult to switch over. But to be able to automate the exporting to all 8 sources, to cut out over 1,000 hours of skilled labor per book, it's worth it in the long run, I believe. Quite frankly, it'd probably start paying itself off in the first year or 2 of being implemented. And when I was talking with the makers down at Paizo, at Gen Con, right after they'd released the book, a couple days into the Pathfinder playtest, they discovered, they were actually shocked at how few of the pre-owned copies they were selling compared to what they had been expecting based on what the Pathfinder 1.0 playtest had been. It was something they weren't expecting. Why was that? Why is that? I think it boils down to a lot of the people who were coming through the line were telling this guy I was talking with that they already had seen the PDF. They already downloaded, they already started reading it, even before they waited through the ridiculously long line to get the printed copy, to get a miniature, to get this, to get that, to get the other thing. And there was a huge line, and they sold a lot of copies. They did a great job. And it's going to be a hugely successful playtest. I may be a 5e guy myself, but I tremendously respect Pathfinder. For a whole Paizo, they're a pretty amazing company to work for. Anyway, that's the biggest issue for publishers. That's what I'm working on to try and solve it. I know it's kind of a long scheme thing, and I'm not showing you all of the code that's actually moving the stuff around and bringing it about and making it possible. But hopefully it's giving you an idea of where I'm hoping to go and what I'm hoping to bring about. Well, God bless you all, and I'll see you around.